Hello and welcome to Mr. and Ms. Connections. I'm your host, Andrew.
And I'm Leilani.
And welcome to the podcast where we normally go to a random city's misconnections section, read their articles where we try to find people that are looking for love or some dirty, nasty friendship. But this week we're doing something different. In the spirit of October and Halloween, we are going to be looking at some terrible, horrifying, scary dating stories, and I think everybody has their own dating mishaps and terrible dating stories, don't you think?
I would hope so.
I mean, I know I do. I've
heard some of them.
I have a few. But this week we're going to be going on a little adventure. So this one, we're going to start off with a news story of one of the worst dating experiences I've ever heard. This one's a little bit old. This guy wrote it 7 months ago. I've never heard of it, but apparently it was pretty big in some areas. I'm going to go straight to the source. He posted his experiences on Reddit.
What?
His username is Immortal Snail.
Okay, that's awesome.
And the title of it is TIFU, which is the subreddit, which is Today I Effed Up.
Oh.
And it says, TIFU, by joking with a date, I was a serial killer.
What?
Have you heard of this?
No.
Apparently this was big 7 months ago, but
I'm intrigued.
I never even knew. So it starts off. I'm just going to read it and we can go through it.
Okay.
So because of circumstances beyond my control, this didn't happen today. So he's talking about how it happened fairly recently, to him writing this Reddit post. Cue my first date with a girl I met on Tinder. We meet up at a restaurant and get to talking. Things are going great. She thinks I'm funnier in person. And then in parentheses, when does that ever happen? She actually invites me to the mall to hang out more with some of her friends when dinner is over.
Nice.
I just love some of the comments down at the bottom when they were like, she invited you to the mall for hang out more? Like, what is this, a date in 1992?
Calm
you guys
down.
are 14?
Wow. Harsh.
Also, what time is this dinner? Like,
This is true.
Doesn't the mall close at like 8 every night? Like,
wait, where are they from?
I don't know. Is it 60-year-old people just like, we were out to the early bird special at 3:30. It was quite empty for dinner at the Red Lobster.
Maybe they had the dinner in the mall and they ventured out of the food court.
Like, yeah. Like at the one here, it's like a Red Robin.
Yeah,
it's
exactly like that.
If you don't mind, we can go hang out at the mall. And then they walk 2 steps out and it's like, all right, we're at the mall. All right, anyways, let's keep going. So after the food arrives, the conversation turns a little more towards how we met. In quotes, pay close attention and you will spot my mistake. She states she's glad I'm normal and not some sort of serial killer. How all women say about online dating. They always make that joke. It's almost a cliche now.
Yeah, I carry mace and everything with me. So.
No, that's a good idea. My mom actually got one of my ex's mace. And I'm so glad she didn't use it on me when we broke up.
Yeah, no comment.
She says, so she makes the comment, I'm glad you're normal and not some sort of serial killer. So he goes on to say, now I could have just laughed. I could have, but I was funny, remember?
Oh, God, no.
I replied with, oh, thanks for thinking I'm normal, but I actually am a serial killer. Bodies for days buried out at the farm. She laughed, I laughed, I thought I did great at making it sound sarcastic.
Okay.
So he must have really like, oh, but I am a serial killer, like all guys do to be quirky and all that other stuff. She excuses herself to the bathroom to do whatever girls do in bathrooms on dates. It was taking a questionably long time for her to return, and I was slightly worried she bailed and stuck me with the bill. My luck, right? Wrong. Also, how much is this bill?
Exactly.
If he is at, like, now I'm thinking that they're at Red Robin in the mall. Like, how much money is this gonna take? Like, oh crap, she's gonna stick me with the burger bill. Oh, I don't have enough. Also, did they mention that they were going to do
Wait,
Dutch? Like they were just going to split the bill
I
already?
always assumed that it would be Dutch right off the bat on the first date.
On the first date?
Yeah.
I don't know. If it's a date, I feel like the guy should pay for it.
Wait, what? What year are you from? Like, seriously, that...
This year. This is normal.
What? No, it's not.
So it's just like...
I go in straight in that we're going to pay separately. Automatically.
But then it's like, whatever. We're not going to get into this. We're not going to get into this. This isn't what the podcast is about. It's about this today I learned. Okay, so unbelievably wrong. My luck was worse as police officers suddenly appear out of nowhere and tell me to keep both of my hands visible on the table. At this point, I'm confused. This must be a joke. I see my date coming with a staff member and get ready to Ashton Kutcher to appear. Great punk reference. No such luck. Nobody makes these punked references anymore. Stop making them. It's not a thing. Punked was terrible back then, and it would be worse now.
It made Justin Timberlake cry, and I thought that was the most amazing thing in the world, so...
Yeah, it had its time and place,
yes.
And that was the first 2 seasons. And then it was just like, all right, enough.
Yeah.
The police ask if it's me, and she says, yeah. The cops get me to stand up and cuff me and walk me out. Not a single person seems to want to answer any of my questions. I'm in the car, and police are outside talking to my date for a few minutes when they get into the car with me and ask me if I told my date I was a serial killer. Are you freaking kidding me? He just said in like all one word. I tell them yes, but I was joking. He puts in a little thing. Don't admit to police you told someone you're a serial killer. So they derailed my plans. I spent the next 5 to 6 hours explaining myself over and over and over that I was kidding. I guess eventually they were either believed me or got tired of hearing me speak, much to my lawyer's disapproval, to me speaking, and let me go and reminded me that my jokes suck. I'm not sure how date number 2 will go, but I'm excited to find out. Also, a bright side is that I have no idea who paid for my food. I made a joke I was a serial killer. Date doesn't get sarcasm. I spent hours in the police station. Can I just say that is a date to remember, especially if it's like one of those Lifetime movies or something, like it's a Nicholas Sparks movie, and it's like, oh, they're in the retirement home, and she's like, he's reading the story to her, and he's like, and then this woman went to the bathroom and called the police on me, and then the old woman's just like, how dare she? She sounds like a witch. It's like, and he's like, you don't even know, girl. You better knock out of that Alzheimer's because it's you.
I just feel as though homegirl took it to the extreme. I get it, but then really...
Who admits it, too?
If you're being sarcastic about it, I mean...
But, I mean, seriously, who admits it? Like, I feel like you're the most worst serial killer if you're, like, on a date and the conversation's going a little bit good in a Red Robin, and then all of a sudden he's like, well, this is the perfect time. Now that you mention it, I just feel like we have a deep connection now that I can admit I've murdered several billions of people, and I've just buried them somewhere.
The only person I can actually see saying that out loud would be Ted Bundy on a date, and nobody would believe him.
Yeah. That and Jeffrey Dahmer. He eat people.
Jeffrey Dahmer
come back to my place, little boy.
Jeffrey Dahmer wouldn't go on a date. That's the thing.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
No.
I watched one movie with him and as Jeremy Renner, and it was so weird.
Yeah. I heard it was horrible.
It was horrible? I thought it was alright.
But I know the graphic novel for Jeffrey Dahmer is coming out.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I kind of want to see that.
Just murder and drugs. Apparently, that's like people gravitate towards that.
Yeah,
so,
I can see it.
Mostly people that have never done murder or drugs.
Yes.
Like, I just want to throw that out there. All right, so let's get into. We have 4 stories, 4 terrible dating stories. like I said, we're doing something just different. But we're gonna read these stories, riff on them, and maybe get into our own terrible stories, possibly.
Yeah.
But I found a site called badcaseofthedates.com. Go to the site. It has some really not that bad, pretty good stories, all about bad dates, good stories. This person has done a really good job with this website. So go there. You can also donate. Helps out. So why not? Just giving you a shout out. I searched everywhere. Everything was either a BuzzFeed,
BuzzFeed.
Article where every story was like a one-liner.
Yeah.
It's like, how am I supposed to work with this? But this one had actual like stories that were archived and everything all in one place. So I really appreciate it. So shout out to badcaseofthedates.com, all one word. Go there, read some of these stories. It actually took me back to where like I used to read like FML stories, F My Life stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where it was just like, oh, you just go on there at school time when it was computer time. You just read all the horrible stories that these people thought their lives were really terrible, and then you grow up and you're like, they weren't that terrible.
If you go way back, like my age, but like if you do like Teen Vogue or whatever, I remember telling you this, that you would just go flip to the back of the book and then all the horror stories of dating used to be back there.
Yeah, I just think people can relate to it.
Oh yeah,
and they're fun to read, and you're like, oh, that sucks for you, and then you have one and you're like, ah, man, this sucks. But let's get into them. We mixed in some really popular stories and then some more recent stories. So it's not like all their most popular ones, so you can get a sense of what the website's about. This one's from September 1st, 2009.
Holy crap.
So how not to stand a guy up. I met Samantha at a friend's going away party in early August. She works at an environmental nonprofit writing grants and going to conferences. The conversation flowed and she gave me her number. I was almost at the coffee shop where we arranged to meet up for a first date when my phone rang. Hello? I don't know how we're going to do this. Did you want to read it or do you want me to just do it?
You got it.
All right, so time to do my voices.
Oh, God.
All right, so my phone rang. Hello? Hey.
Oh, God. This is so bad already.
Hey, it's Amanda. I'm going to be late. Oh? Okay. I'm just going to read it better. I'm just going to read it. So he goes, hello. She goes, hey, it's Samantha. I'm going to have to be late. And he goes, oh, okay. And she goes, or I'm going to have to cancel. Well, which is it? I'm having a crisis at work. If it sounds like a grade A cop-out to you, then it sure did to me. Still, I didn't know her too well, and perhaps she was telling the truth. Perhaps. I asked, is the environment in danger? She says, I'll call you back in like 20 minutes. And then she hung up. I sat down in the coffee place with a chai tea and waited. As I had left my copy of What to Do When Your Date's a Flake at home, I reverted to my default behavior of wondering if each woman who walked by would A, take a sudden interest in me, B, sit down with me, C, chat over memories past with me, D, invite me to her place, E, say dirty things into my ear while sitting on her bed, and then F, slap me and kick me out when she became too insecure to act out said dirty things. My phone rang. Hello? It's Samantha. Look, I can't get out of this. Can I call you later this week? My shoulders drop. Does this happen on a regular basis? She says, no, I promise. I just have 12 deadlines by Friday. He goes, fine. I finished my chai, gave every woman in the place one last chance to reel me in, and then I left for the subway. It was a pleasant night, and I opted for a non-direct route. As I walked near an ice cream shop's outdoor cafe, who should I see sitting at a table over a milkshake but Samantha? Bah, bah, bah. Revealed, it's Samantha, and sitting across from a guy. My first thought was, thank goodness she was able to complete her work so quickly, but my second thought quickly supplanted it by second thought being, ouch. I doubled back around the corner and called her. Hey Samantha, how's work? She says, it's really busy. Didn't we just talk about this? I'll call you later, okay? And then he goes, will you be there late? Can I bring you anything? She says, what are you talking? And then he goes, like ice cream. Silence. I took this opportunity to round the corner and walk towards the ice cream shop. The instant she locked eyes with me, it was as if someone had poured a drum of ice-cold water all over her. I saw her mouth crap. Crap indeed. Hi, I stopped at her table and extended my hand to the guy. I'm the guy she stood up to see you. To my surprise, the guy shook my hand, albeit weakly. Then I turned to Samantha. A milkshake? I said, I love milkshakes. I grabbed her drink. Hey, she protested, but it was far too late. I was already drinking some down. I replaced the milkshake back onto the table and said, well, good night, and left. The end.
Shade.
I would have never done that.
No, good for him. I applaud him for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, but I don't know. I would have never done that. If I just saw her, I'd just been like, all right, I'm gonna lose her number. And not and not talk to her ever again. Like, I'm not gonna go in there and be Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction and be like, oh, what do you got in there? And he's like, Sprite. And he's just like, oh, I love Sprite. You mind if I have a sip? And then drink the whole thing down.
But, I mean, it's to prove a point. Like, how many times has this girl probably done this and has never been confronted? So, I feel as though it's driving home the point of don't be a douchebag.
But are you the one that should be telling her this?
Yeah.
To each their own. Because I just wouldn't do it.
Well, I mean, granted, I would have to be in a mood, like, that pissed off to do it.
Yeah.
But
the type of pissed off that you just throw all cares out the window and you're like, all right, whatever.
I mean, you're not going to talk to the girl again, obviously. And so who cares?
I mean, true. But still, I wouldn't even have bothered. Like, I would have just shown that it's like, it doesn't even faze me. I would just...
It didn't faze him. He showed it.
I would just lose her number and never speak to her again. Like...
He got some free milkshake, so...
I just would like to have seen him done the Samuel L. Jackson and try to suck the whole thing down and then him just have a brain freeze in that moment. Like... It
would be awesome.
Ah! Good night! And then just, like, walk away. All right. This one is from 9/25/2017. So fairly recent. Cafe of the Furious.
Wait, that was Monday.
From when we recorded this, yes, it was Monday.
Oh, yes. I keep forgetting.
But Cafe of the Furious. So, over dating site emails with Crystal. Everybody make a note. It's Crystal with a K. She told me that there was a cafe that she really liked. She had apparently been there once several years ago and had always wanted to return. Maybe she should have not picked it as a first place if you haven't been there in, like, several years.
Why? I mean... Just
why? Why pick that one specific place that you hadn't gone to and, like, just go to a Chili's, like after a while. Like, first date, let's just go to a Chili's. Well-lit area that everybody goes to and it's populated. Nobody knows about this random cafe.
So? I mean, I don't understand the point that you're trying to make.
How about I read the rest of it and then you can figure it out. She said she had forgotten its exact street address and couldn't find it on Google Maps. But she knew the neighborhood it was in, and so we made plans to meet in that area. It was evening when we met up on a street corner in a suburban neighborhood. She said, "It's right around here." There were no businesses of any kind around. The streets were full of houses. I followed her on foot from street to street, and pretty soon I realized that she must have been mistaken. I said, "This isn't even a commercial area. Maybe it's closer to the main road?" She said, "No, I remembered that house, and she pointed to a brick house that looked exactly the same as the brick houses on either side of it. She led me down a few more streets for a little while when I suggested, maybe we can find another cafe? I really want to find this one. Their salads were amazing. Which can I just say...
Really? Salad?
It's a salad.
Yeah.
It's lettuce, carrots, cheese, some various vegetables that never really change.
Well, you never know. They could have spiced it up.
What, with the chicken?
I don't know.
It's just the protein. It's not like... Salads are the same everywhere. It's just lettuce in a bowl with different vegetables in there.
Well, yes. But
well, their salads are amazing. And it's like, all right, calm down. As long as the lettuce isn't brown and dead, like, then it's a pretty decent salad. It's just whatever dressing and protein you put into it that makes it different.
Okay. All right. Just
do you have
dropping down salads like that?
Yeah, every salad is the same. Restaurants laugh when you order a salad because it's $14 and all they have to do is open a salad mix and throw it in one of their custom bowls.
Don't you usually order salads?
I do.
Okay, I was just say, wait a minute.
But that's not the point. I know they're laughing, but I like it.
Wow.
All right. So we walked up and down the same neighborhood roads for a while longer. Maybe she expected a cafe to suddenly materialize if we walked around the same block counterclockwise 7 times. I'm not sure of that, but I was sure that I was hungry. I told her, let's get some dinner somewhere else, and maybe you'll remember where it is while we eat. She was reluctant to give up the search, so I added, let's do dinner somewhere else and then do dessert at your cafe. That changed her mind, and so we drove several blocks away to a nice downtown area with no shortages of cafes. It took her forever to pick a cafe because, of course, she had to look at the salads at each place to see if any were comparable to the ones she had at this mythical, amazing place that was apparently replaced by an entire suburban neighborhood in just a few short years. We finally sat down to eat, and she ordered a salad, and when it arrived, she was quick to inform me that it wasn't as good as the salad at her mystery cafe. She urged me to hurry through dinner so we could go back to searching for it. I did my best to change her mind. I really did. I asked her if she wanted to order dessert at where we were, or maybe we could go find a bakery or an ice cream shop, probably where Samantha is. But no. She was dead set on finding that cafe. I didn't want to... I don't know what that word is. I didn't want to... Trapse? Traipse.
Trapeze?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know that. I didn't...
Wait, how do you spell that again?
Traipse.
Traipse.
Very good content right now.
What are words? Walk or move warily or reluctantly.
Alright, so this guy's a douche.
Traps. It's like trapes? Trapes.
Yes.
Trapes! I didn't want to trapes.
Oh, whatever. I didn't want to mosey around a neighborhood anymore. So, I'm going to use my old peasant words and say mosey. I didn't want to mosey around a neighborhood anymore, so I told her I'd probably go home after dinner. She said she was fine with that. When we left the dinner place, she turned to me and asked if I was really going to leave. She said, I thought you were going to help me. I was pretty irritated at her, and I said, why do we need to find this place? We spent forever searching for it before dinner. It's about all you talked about through dinner, and hello, we just had dinner. We don't need to find another cafe. She yelled, I'm going to find it with or without your help. And she stormed off back to the suburban neighborhood full of houses and no cafes whatsoever. I went home. That's almost like the famous U2 song. With or without you.
Oh my god.
I'll find the cafe with or without you.
No.
Oh. So this dude's at home. She's off searching for it. So then she texted this guy at 11 to say, found it. Don't you feel like a jerk?
Picture it didn't happen.
I wrote back, send me a photo.
Thank you.
She didn't send me anything after that. And that was really okay.
That's it?
And that's how the night ended. He went and deleted her number, kept playing whatever video game he wanted to, and that was it.
I have to say that, again, I applaud this guy as well because of his patience.
Yeah.
Because I would have ended it, mid-dinner. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, once you finally have dinner, I think it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But, see, this is where I'm thinking these bad dates kind of go awry. Because they start out with, like, quirky kind of stories that I can see, like, Hallmark or Lifetime doing. Oh, she really liked this cafe. Mm-hmm. She went with her family one time several years ago. We started looking for it. Oh, we couldn't find it. We looked forever. We decided to go to a cafe. Now, if they went to dinner and actually started eating dinner, mm-hmm. and the conversation was nice, it was flowing, then it could have been like, oh, yeah, and that's in the moment after we were looking for that cafe for hours. I was fine with it, and she was fine with it, and we went off and did something else. But it's not like that. It was like, oh, she kept talking about it. She kept bringing it up. It didn't go well. So that's why it's a bad date.
Yeah.
So.
I just don't like the whole thing about being on foot. Because one of my thoughts was like, is this a setup? Is she, like, luring him somewhere? Because this just sounds creepy.
I think she just wanted a really good salad. And
that's ridiculous how much you want a salad. That's no.
So that's why in the beginning of the story I said don't look for a weird, obscure place early if you haven't been there recently. Like,
okay, I get it now. Like, I get it.
Now, if your friends say, oh, I went there last week, it's still there, it's really good, then you could be like, oh, yeah, I haven't been to this cafe, I used to go with it all the time, let's go there.
Well, why didn't you research it beforehand? If you were like, hey, let's go on a date, and then I would try to find it before, so I know exactly where it's at.
Well, like she said, she didn't know the street address, she just knew the area. So it's like she doesn't remember. She
could have went to the area. No, in daylight.
Why? She's already going on the date with a guy going to this area. Why does she need to research it before? That's 2 trips. That's 2 trips. You don't need to go there.
You're wasting time, though.
But then again, you could have went there, got a salad, and then been like, oh yeah, I was here Wednesday. But then maybe she was saving it for the special guy.
No, for a special guy. Okay.
I just want to be ultimately surprised when that Caesar salad comes out, and I'm like, oh, this is better than any other Caesar salad I've ever had.
I want to know what salad it is now. I really do.
It's probably one of those, like, Caribbean salads or, like, a specific salad that only they make. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. It just, to me, salads are all the same. So it's like, I love the salads here. It's like, then you like the salads anywhere else. It's just like... It just depends on where, like, what salad specific. Like, Chili's has a Caribbean salad. Mm-hmm. If you go somewhere else, they might not have that Caribbean salad, but they'll have a salad that's specific for them.
I just think it's funny how you're talking down on salad so much, and you're the salad guy.
I will say, don't go to... If you want, like, to eat healthy, don't go to the Cheesecake Factory and order a salad. Because no matter what, they just throw on calories onto a salad, and it's just, like, pointless. Just get something really unhealthy at Cheesecake and be happy with it. Because I went to Cheesecake, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to have a salad. It's going to be nice. Right away, I'm like, I'm going to get a bathtub full of lettuce. Because that's all Cheesecake does. They're like, oh, you got to spend a lot of money. But guess what? You get a ton of food. I got an Asian salad with wontons in it. These wontons were like the size of my palms, and they were just like 3 stacked on top of each other with salad in between all of them, and then there was like a slice of a full chicken breast on it too. So I was like, what's the point? It's just a bed of lettuce with these fried wontons on it. I was like, I should have just gotten like a whatever else they had with a slice of giant cheesecake. But salad, don't. If a girl ever said that when we were looking for a place for 2 hours, oh, their salads are amazing, I'm like, girl, you did not just... First of all, I'm asking, what specifically are you looking for at this place? And if she says a salad, I'm going to be like, no, we're not going there if you don't know where it's at.
But you would wait after 2 hours?
No, beforehand.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, what?
Yeah, I would have to ask beforehand, what's at this place? And she's like, oh, it's a grilled cheese. And it's like, no, we're going to Denny's. You're getting a grilled cheese. I know where that's at. It's on every corner. I'd rather go there than
Wow.
be searching. All right, let's go to this one. It's called Free Date with Sign Up.
What?
Free Date with Sign Up. This happened in January of 2013. All right, so this one says, I found Kimberly on OkCupid. She was hot. Her essays were smart, and I laughed about half a dozen times reading her profile, whereas most profiles I read barely made me smile. So you know she's good with her words. Dad, what was the time that you knew you loved Ma? Oh, when she made the Rugrats reference in her profile that made me laugh, son.
Why would you even admit that, though?
What?
Admit that how you meant like that?
I mean, nowadays it's not that taboo.
I would lie.
Like, back in the 90s, it was like, you're online dating, that's gross. But now it's like, everybody does it. Like, are you pathetic, more likely?
No, back in the days, like, how do you meet? Chat room.
Yeah, chat room. But
Yeah.
it's not like, hey, where'd you meet? Oh, I signed up for online dating back then, or speed dating. Back then, it was like, you can't just meet somebody at a bar. Nowadays, it's like, I spend 16 hours online. I'm glad I met somebody. That's basically how it is.
Oh.
According to the site, she responded to messages often, and I messaged her. After not hearing back from her for 2.5 weeks, I had almost forgotten about her when one morning she emailed me a note. The note said, "Can you meet me at Stefano's tonight at 8? Come alone."
Was he gonna bring someone? Like,
Here we go. That night was a Monday. I didn't have anything going on, but the brevity of her message was simultaneously intriguing, mysterious, and mysterious. That latter word bears repetition. Come alone. As opposed to bringing my sister's kindergarten class, I arrived alone at Stefano's, a decent Italian place, at 7:30. I was early because I just had a weird impression from her message. Maybe she was just trying to be quirky and fun, as lots of girls want to be like Mayim Bialik, turned weird eccentric loner into quirky and fun. Speaking of, Kimberly arrived 10 minutes to 8, dressed up like a gothic French maid. She sported a short skirt with black and white striped leggings and a lacy black trim around most of her outfit. Fun and quirky. The first words out of her mouth were, "Are you alone?" I looked around that I was, then said, "Yes, you?" She said, "I picked this place because they have candlelight." She asked the host to seat us in a corner of the restaurant, away from windows, she instructed. Perhaps she was afraid of electric lights and drafts and thinking straight. We were soon at our corner, candlelit table. Then she said, "Okay," about 50 times, as if preparing to tell me the meaning of life, who really shot JFK, or that she was pregnant with a chicken. She said, "Have you heard of Amway?" It's a shame, as I was really hoping for the JFK thing. I said yes. She blurted, "Nothing could be further from the truth. It's a legitimate corporation with over 50 years ago. Rich DeVos and J something. Okay, sorry. Okay. I'm doing this wrong. Okay." I said, "Why don't you take a deep breath and start at the beginning, minus anything about Amway?" She says, "People have bad impressions about it, but nothing could be further from the truth. It's a legitimate corporation with over 50 years of experience building businesses and lifelong relationships from the ground up." I said, "Not interested." Okay. You just need the desire to succeed. It was founded 50 years ago by Rich DeVos and Jay. It's a legitimate... I'm not interested. Can we talk about something else? She said, "I don't want to." She looked up as if straining for the right words. She had seemingly practiced her sales pitch, assuming that the person to whom she'd be pitching would be extremely interested and therefore not really need much of a sales pitch to begin with. I threw my best shot. "You look really good." And she did. That's the unfortunate part of it all. She looked great, and her profile was humorous and articulate. What happened? Nothing could be further from the truth, she said, but to herself, like she was trying hard to remember what came next. The waiter came by for our drink orders. I opted for a Jack and Coke that kind of night, and she ordered water. I tried over and over to talk about something other than the ludicrous sales pitch, and finally I seemed to engage her on the topic of what it was like to be a high school music teacher, which she was. The waiter delivered our drinks and took our food orders. Kimberly talked about the challenges she faced and the show she wanted to direct. It was refreshing, and I can honestly say that was the best part of the date. I really enjoyed myself. When I followed up with something she said with, "Isn't rent a little tough to do in a high school setting?" she replied, "Have you given any more thought to it?" And I was like, "To what? Rent? It's a good show, not my favorite." And she goes, "Amway." He goes, "There's a show about Amway? That sucks." And she goes, "Okay, founded in 1959, over 50 years ago, by Rich DeVos, is a legitimate..." And I said, "Kimberly!" That stopped her, but her lips quivered, like she was bursting to go on. I said, "Mention it again, and I'm moving to a separate table to eat my dinner alone, and I really, really mean it." She couldn't help herself. Lots of people think they have common bad impressions about it, but I stood up from the table, likely more dramatically than what was necessary. I found our waiter, briefly explained the things that were not working on my date, and asked if we could be cool splitting the check to 2 different tables. He was gracious enough to help me out. I picked a table out of Kimberly's view and ate my dinner in peace. I didn't see her leave, but I didn't look for her. When I left, I didn't check to see if she was still there or not. When I went home, I wrote this up because I didn't want to forget anything. So glad I got it down.
I'm still trying to figure this out.
She was a salesperson.
I know, but I don't know. It just seemed like she was nervous, like she had to get it out, like no matter what. Like a salesperson wouldn't. I mean, they would still have a script, but then they would go around it, like if it didn't work out the way that they thought. But she had to go like with the script that she had in mind.
I think that's just her thing.
That's just wow.
You ever had anybody trying to sell you anything on a date?
No.
No?
No. What, did you?
No, I didn't have the date try to sell me anything, but it's like, I don't know. I've had like flower people. Like the date wasn't going well, and then there would be like flower people out there like trying to get people to buy flowers.
That's different, yeah.
And it's just like, no, we're not doing this. And it's like just the sad look on the girl's face when you're like, no, this isn't working out. like nothing calms the mood down like saying no to the flower guy. Like, no,
she's not worth it.
This isn't happening. I'm not giving you anything.
Wow.
You don't deserve this. I've had a date. I've taken a girl I was interested into Target, and then she kept asking me, "Don't you want to buy me this?" And was pointing to different things, and it's like, no, I don't. I don't even want to buy me that. Why would I want to buy you that?
That just that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it wasn't too long before that when I was like, I'm gonna lose your number.
Wow.
And I did. But we were still Facebook friends, so I'm glad I don't hear much from her.
You and your exes in Facebook, man.
What?
Just saying.
Facebook, I don't post anything there, so it doesn't matter.
I know, but still, why would you even put the effort into it if you don't... I mean, you guys don't even talk.
What effort?
I'm just saying...
What effort is Facebook?
It's not really effort, but
accept
just
or ignore.
Still...
And then I hit accepted when I was at a time and place where I was cool with them. And then what am I supposed to do? Unfriend them? That takes more effort than just going past them while scrolling.
I unfriend people all the time.
Just like, whatever. What? Facebook is like, it's just a thing.
It is.
It's like a collectible card game. You just collect as many people as you know. You don't care about what they say.
No, I don't collect that many. I mean, for personal experience, no, I don't.
I mean, I don't do that.
But, I mean, there's also, because you have, like, certain friends on there, and then if you delete them or block them, that's when all of a sudden, like, the world crashes down, and, like, how dare you delete me from Facebook?
Really?
I've had that.
I don't meet any people that care enough.
Oh. Okay.
Or I don't get in direct contact. Like, if I were to take somebody off of Facebook, like, they wouldn't even care, I don't think. I don't have those kind of people.
Oh, my bad. Your people.
What do you mean, your people? How dare you?
Sorry, my
I
people
don't know. That was more of a high school thing, where it was like somebody took you out of their MySpace thing or their unfriend you, and it's like, oh my gosh, how dare Anna Maria take me off of her friends list? And it's like, I was like, what's going on?
No, it's still a thing.
Tamagotchis?
Doesn't matter how old you are. People, it depends on the person. They still freak out.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm getting tired of all the hearing about all the baby stuff, because now people my age that I was friends with are now having a lot of babies and stuff and kids. So I'm scrolling through and I'll just see like a whole bunch of like baby pictures and baby stuff. And I'm just like, this isn't for me. This isn't what I want to see.
Well, then take them off the feed. Still be friends with them and just take them off the feed.
I just scroll past it. I'm like, I don't want to see your baby's first tooth. I don't want to see that, and then the change stuff.
Change?
Like the, help me get enough signatures for this, or...
Oh, petitions and all that?
Or just throwing up a terrible picture in the middle of it, and it's just like, look what this person did, and it's like, I don't want to see any of that. I don't want to condone it, but I don't want to see that. My aunt put up a petition for dog fighting, I think, and it had like Michael Vick on one side, and then the dog that was in a fight, and I was just like, oh, it's like those it just reminded me of all those like smoking ads. That's just like the person in the wheelchair or the one that has the throat thing, and it's like, you either mute it or you turn it to like King of Queens or something on TBS, and you're just like, I don't want to see this. I'd rather see Everybody Love Raymond for like 5 minutes and then turn it back to whatever I was watching, which would be Cops. Gosh, I sounded so white trash talking about Everybody Loves Raymond and Cops.
You're like, I don't want to see babies. I don't want to see any of that. I just want to see people get arrested.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
that's cool with me.
All
I
right.
mean, I want to see a guy talk about how he was thought of being a serial killer on his date and then being arrested. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see baby's first teeth or them in their look at them in their onesie. It says mommy's bad girl. Ooh.
It's their Facebook though that they're sharing with everybody.
I know.
Just so happens they're friends with you.
It's just not me.
Who just hates
That's what I'm
it.
saying. It's just not me. It's not for me. That's why I said in the beginning. It's not for me. I don't want to see it.
Out of all things, you're like, babies, no.
What?
I like how you also compared it to like these petitions that have horrible pictures. Like horrible pictures of like dogs that are dead and then babies.
I'm not comparing them. It's just I don't want to see either one of them.
It kind of went that way.
I don't want to see either one of them.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I don't think babies are as bad as smoking and dog fighting, but I don't want to see either one of them.
But
I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't think cigarettes and black olives are the same, but I don't want either one of them on my pizza. That's all I'm saying. All right.
yeah, I'm just gonna let you go with that one.
All right. Let's do one last one. It's called The Burger Queen. I read this whole story, and I thought this was like, this dude went way too deep into it. I'm just saying. This was ridiculous, and he went on. I blamed a little bit of this guy for going along with it as long as he did.
Wait, and why did you pick out only dudes that are having bad dates?
So this is going to be a two-parter. I picked equal things, but when I was picking the stories at random, I accidentally picked all the guy stories, and then the next one's gonna be all the girl stories.
Gotcha.
So I'm just saying I had them all lined up, and I just picked randomly. I didn't mean for that to happen.
You did.
Because some of these stories seem made up to me if most of the guys are making them. But this one's called The Burger Queen. Alright. When I was out on a first date dinner with Maxine, you don't see that name too often.
I have a friend named Maxine.
You would. She received a phone call from her younger brother. She put him on the hold and asked me if I'd be up for visiting him after dinner. It was a weird thing to ask on a first date, but I told her it was fine. She hung up with me, and I asked her where we'd be visiting him. She said he worked at a local mall's food court. Just hitting all the malls today. Maxine's brother, Liam, worked at a burger place that looked out at a big atrium. I don't know why you need that. When we made it there, Maxine asked me to buy something because Liam's boss might be watching. I ordered a small fry. Maxine asked, "That's it? Can you order something bigger? We might be talking here for a little bit." I just said, I'll just eat the fries really slowly. She said, "You're gonna get Liam in trouble. Now order something bigger. Just for looks, okay?" I didn't really want to, but I also wanted the argument to be over, so I ordered a burger combo. First of all, I don't even want to go see your brother, let alone order something after we just ate. So, if I'm this dude, I'm like, I'm buying the fries, or I'm getting out. Like, I'll see you later. You can talk to your brother and order a combo you want.
That's why, like, all these guys have a lot of patience, like, with this.
Yeah. I would have been like, cool, let's go see your brother. We can hang out.
Yeah.
He might be in trouble or need a ride or something. But to be like, oh, order something. First of all, I don't even want the fries.
Yeah.
Let alone, like, order something bigger. We just ate. Like, I just had a salad at a mystery cafe, girl. Like, it took us 2 hours to find it. I finally had a salad. It was alright. But to ask this person to do this is just ridiculous. But here we go. Unless it's a diner. Now, if we're in a diner, I'll sit around and eat. Like, whatever. Like, pick at stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're just at a mall burger place,
yeah.
I'm not into it. First of all, I don't want to be there. I didn't really want to, but I also wanted the argument to be over. So when it was ready, so we ordered a burger combo. When it was ready, I passed it over to Maxine. She asked, "What are you doing? I don't want that crap." I said, I don't want to eat a burger. I'm not hungry. You eat it." And she said, "Gross. I'm not eating it. You have to eat it while I talk to my brother. His boss is probably watching." I refused. There's no way I'm eating that. She said, "If neither of us eat it, then he has to." Talking about Liam. "His boss is watching." I said, "Then I hope Liam's hungry." Maxine called me some really nasty names, then handed the burger over to her brother. She said to him, "I'm so sorry you have to do this because of someone," and she stared at me. Her brother then began to cry as he ate the burger in silence.
What the...
Where is he working? Like, what is this? Maxine said things to me like, "Look at what you're making him do, and I hope you're happy. And I can't believe you'd be so cruel." Not that it wasn't enjoyable, but I finally said that I had to go to the bathroom and I left. I blame him a little bit for going along with it too long.
Yeah, I would have never ordered it at all.
Yeah, just don't order it. After you say, "I'm going to order the fries," and pick at them. Because, I mean, she was just on the date too. Like, she knows you were just eating. Like, I don't want to eat it. But that was kind of like a Larry David thing. I want to see that in, like, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't want to eat the burger. I didn't even want it. but I just you just tell her, "I don't want to order something. You can order something." Why didn't they order, like, a small, like, they just had dinner. Why don't they get, like, some small dessert and share it with the 2 spoons or something?
But I'm picturing now, like, the brother standing next to her, and he's actually eating the burger, crying.
Yeah.
I'm like, this sounds really messed up. Like,
Also, who's he working for? Stalin? Like, why is he...
The manager's watching.
Yeah. Also, why do you have to go to your brother's work while he's working?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Because she has to talk to him about... I'm like, what about?
Yeah. If it's a family emergency or something, or something's going on, like, why couldn't he just, like, get off of work or... I don't know. There's a lot of questions, and I'm like, we're only getting one side of the story.
Yeah.
I wish there was a second half, because I'm just like, why? First of all, why do you take your first date and be like, hey, can we go see my brother? And then be like, oh, we're going to be talking here for a while. It's like, why? What's the point? Why don't you go do your date and then go talk to your brother when he gets off of work or something? Or when you're not with...
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I'm super confused, but...
I'm also confused why you think I would have a friend named Maxine. Like, I would.
You would.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
Exactly.
You
Don't
just
say
have a lot
things.
of... What? What was the wrong thing about saying that?
Your tone.
You would have a friend named Maxine. How dare you! Take it back!
Your tone.
Take it back!
Mother!
My baby! But that's part 1 of Dating Horror Stories. Like we said, we're doing a little something differently for Mr. and Miss Connections. No connection section here, but...
I'm glad that there's no connection, like,
yeah,
whatsoever.
Nobody is getting a connection here. They're either piecing out in the middle of their date, or they're just not having it.
It's a disconnection.
Also, do you think that Amway is about... It's like, I don't remember.
Is she talking about the train?
I think she's talking about
Like,
the train.
like to do stock and all that
Yeah,
with Amway?
yeah, I think so.
Which, side note, I think, honestly, maybe, what if she has, like, OCD and she has to say the full thing and that's why she has to keep repeating herself?
I think she's just a music teacher that got a second business at trying to be a sales pitch. And she uses the OkCupid to hook guys in and then say, yeah, sure, I'll do whatever. I'll go on Amway, whatever. Just letting you guys know, podcast isn't sponsored by Amway.
Sponsored by
Do stuff at Amway. But, yeah, so that's it for part 1 of this spooky horror, whatever.
Very much were.
Yeah. You eat that burger. Liam's the real victim in all these stories. Just like...
What if they were eating at that restaurant the Crystal Girl was, or whatever, was looking for?
Yeah, the cafe.
Yeah.
And then the guy who was the serial killer was going to go to that same mall that Liam worked at.
Exactly. They're all connected somehow.
Why would you do this? It's just like eating the burger slowly. Like, first of all, what if it just happens with a random stranger's food? They're just like, I don't want this. And it's like, oh, well, he's going to have to eat it then. Like, whoever's the waiter has to eat it? Like, how big are these waiters? Like, 300 pounds? Just like, I don't want half my steak. And then, like, he brings it back to the kitchen, and then the manager's, like, standing there, like, you know the drill, Maxine. And then he's just like, oh, I don't eat meat. Well, you're gonna eat tonight. Like, that's just weird. I've never heard of a restaurant doing that.
I thought when she said eat it, I thought you meant like pay for it. Like he has to eat the cost, not actually physically eat it.
I feel like he would know that he would have to eat, which then you're paying for a third meal anyways.
Yeah.
Like you just bought at least his dinner at the place that they just had their first date, and then they're going to this second location, and he has to buy a second meal because she wants to talk to her brother.
Maybe it's a scam. That's how they get food.
That's so weird. I don't like this. I don't want to think about Maxine or Liam. It is a weird situation. But anyways, thank you for joining us. Catch us for part 2 next week. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Leilani.
See y'all next time.